Alright boys, this video I'm going to be telling you guys how to actually build a good physique, because there's a lot of influencers out here, a lot of them who are selling products who are not telling you guys how to build a good physique. They'll tell you guys to gain, they'll tell you guys not to bulk, they'll tell you to do a bunch of stupid shit. And it's very simple if you want to build a good physique. So watch till the end, and I'm going to tell you in about 10 minutes how to build a good physique. And now, if you're not using gear and shit, it's going to take you about 5 years probably. It's going to take a couple years to see good results. I mean, you'll see results in a couple months. Like, I was surprised with the amount of results I seen. The first 6 months I started working out, I was looking in the mirror every day, flexing and shit. After every workout, I'd come home and flex in the mirror, take pictures, trying to track my progress. But you gotta go very hard if you want to see gains like that. You can't be on no wimp shit. So now, the problem with these programs and diets that these influencers tell you guys about, and that a lot of people follow, I fell for them. I was trying to gain for months, and I ended up losing muscle because of it. You want to bulk. The food you eat really matters. Something like a steak is going to be a lot better than anything else, pretty much. People will tell you it doesn't matter what you're eating as long as you hit your calories. It absolutely matters what you're eating, man. Like I said, when I put in a lot of work and I made those gains, and I was coming home looking in the mirror every day, I was eating steak, I was eating ground beef, I was eating chicken, I was eating a lot of eggs. I was not eating any fast food. And if you're trying to put on a lot of muscle and feel good, that's what you got to do. Now, another reason why you shouldn't listen to these influencers is because they're all already ripped. You see, the more muscle you have on your frame, the easier it is to burn fat. If majority of your body is muscle, like these influencers, they can eat like that because they have so much muscle. Their body's gonna burn. It's not gonna want to retain a lot of fat because it's all muscle already. Me and you, people who have not put in the work like that, people who have not built their muscles up like that, we're not going to be able to maintain a low body fat. And even if you did, you would just look ridiculous. So there is no point in trying to remain lean until you already have a sustainable amount of muscle on your frame. And that's the whole point of this video. Pretty much the whole point of this video is to let people know you're not the social media influencers, diets and workout plans are not going to work for you. You need to bulk until you get as much muscle as they have, or until you have a lot of muscle on your frame, and then their advice might work for you. But until you have a lot of muscle, you're not going to be able to maintain a low body fat percentage like they're saying. It's just not going to work. And if you did, it would be extremely unhealthy. You see, if you don't have a lot of muscle to take up the space, it's not even about taking up the space. Your muscles require nutrients. If you have small muscles, it doesn't matter how much you eat. That's why these guys on steroids, like you see Sam Sulek, he's eating donuts and shit, and he's still extremely low body fat year round. The reason for this is because he already has an extreme amount of muscle accumulated, and all of that energy from the food is going straight into his muscles. It's not going into any fat. And if he has any fat after the calories, his muscles are going to consume it. Even if he didn't work out with all the gear he's taking and stuff, his muscles would probably consume all that sugar he's eating just by sitting there. Because, like I said before, muscles don't just, they need to eat something. Muscles need nutrients. That's why if Sam Sulek ate or let's say someone who's a little bit lighter, because Sam Sulek's a big boy. He weighs like 230, I think. He might weigh 250 or something. But let's say like Tristan Lee, or someone who's closer to 180, but lean with a lot of muscle. You see someone like him versus your average skinny fat guy. If they both eat a 4,000 calorie diet, Tristan Lee is going to get noticeably less fat from eating that many calories. Even if they don't work out, even if they both do the same workout routine, Tristan Lee has more muscle on his frame. Therefore, more calories would go straight to his muscles, trying to keep them big. His body would send more nutrients to his muscles, trying to keep them big, than the skinny fat guy. His muscles would still take up a little bit of nutrients, but not nearly as much as Tristan Lee, because Tristan Lee probably has 3 times the muscle as the average skinny fat guy, if you get what I'm saying. So pretty much that's why these social media influencers are bullshitting you. It works for them because they already have a shit ton of muscle, but they should not be telling your average person not on steroids to do this, because like I said, you need to hit the gym consistently and hard for years to build that amount of muscle that you see these people with. And if you do want to hop on gear, my recommendation is probably I would wait till you hit your natural maximum limit. And I'd be sure you're at that limit, because there's just no point. Why would you take gear now? You could take it in a couple years after you've already peaked, You take it now, you might just get bored of the gym. I mean, I would at least have 3 years in the tank of going hard in the gym before I take anything. That's just crazy to me. That guys are out here, no experience, hopping on gear, then going to the gym. It's like, dog, what are you doing? And there's other guys you see, they're on crazy cycles taking all this gear, and they're not even making that much progress, I wonder how much money these guys are spending on this shit to hardly even make any gains. Some of them, I seen their transformations, and it's actually laughable. I put on more muscle naturally than those guys did on their crazy cycles, I'm pretty sure the gear gets to their head, or just their egos, and they think that the gear will do all the work for them and they don't have to lift. And that's probably why they don't make good transformations. Or maybe they just got bad genetics. So that's pretty much the thing. If you're trying to get jacked like all these people online you see, then you're going to have to be pretty fat for a while. Or at least you're going to have to bulk up for probably 2 years at least. And when you're bulking up, you're going to be wanting to eat clean foods, or, fuck it, you could just dirty bulk. Some people, they dirty bulk, they just put on as much weight as they can, and then they cut, and they look pretty decent. But another thing is, you don't want to get too fat when you're bulking, because if you get too fat, then when you cut, you're gonna have extra skin. It's gonna be flappy, and the only way you can really remove that or fix that is with surgery. So you don't want to bulk too fat. I wouldn't go past 30-40% body fat, or I wouldn't go past 40, man. I'd keep it, try to stay around 25, but you're gonna want to eat a lot of calories. You might have to force yourself to eat, force yourself to grow, but then once you build muscle, once you have a decent amount of muscle, then you can cut and you can maybe possibly main gain, like some of these people say, but if you don't have a significant amount of muscle on your frame, there's no way in hell you're gonna be main gaining anything. You're just gonna either gain fat by eating crappy and thinking, oh, I only ate 3,000 calories, so I shouldn't gain weight, and then you're gonna gain fat, and you're gonna be like, what happened? This guy said I could make gain. Well, that's not the case for you, because you don't have 50 pounds of lean muscle that's gonna require all those calories just to exist. You see, that's how these guys have it. They can eat 3,000 calories and it will all go to their muscles just so they can exist. People who do not have a significant amount of muscle mass do not have it. And another thing I wanted to say about this is, do not focus on how you look if you haven't been hitting the gym for at least 3 years, 4 years, you should not even be giving a shit about how you look. I know in the beginning of the video I said the first 6 months I was looking in the mirror a lot, but I was eating extremely clean and staying lean. I was bulking and cutting, but now that I look back on it, I wish that I had just bulked the whole time. If I bulked that whole time, I probably would have put on 5 extra pounds of muscle, or I don't know about 5, I'm just making numbers up, but I definitely would have put on more muscle if I bulked that whole time rather than cut. That's why I'm saying you don't have to bulk and cut. You don't have to main gain. What I would do is bulk, hit your PRs, progressively overload for a couple years, and then once you have gained significant weight, I'm talking about 30 to 40 pounds. 30 to 40 pounds, not just all the muscle. I'm talking about muscle and fat. Then you can cut and see how much muscle you actually put on. If you put on 40 pounds of muscle and fat and you cut, try and get as lean as possible. By the end of it, you may have retained 25 pounds of muscle after you cut. And I just think it works out better this way. People go on like 1 month bulks, 2 month bulks. I don't think that's enough time. I think you need to bulk for a couple months. That's what I'm going to do at least. I'm going to start bulking for 6 months. But if you enjoyed this video and like what I had to say, leave a like. I'm going to be dropping more tips, more content. I might make some videos of me lifting, ask people. My forums are, I can give you tips, you guys can give me tips, but leave a like, comment if you want to see something else. Let me know what I should do. And I'll see you guys in the next one.